Hello friends, welcome to my another lecture in this lecture series of discrete mathematical structure. The topic that we are going to discuss about is mathematical logic, and the content that in this particular lecture I am going to discuss about is equivalence of formulas. So in this lecture we are going to discuss about the concepts, the theory which is required to prove that whether two formulas are equivalent or two formulas are not equivalent. Okay, so let us move ahead and let us try to discuss about what is the equivalence of the formulas. Let us say there are two formulas A and B. Now A is one formula and B is another formula. Okay, and let us say that these two formulas are formed by using the variables P1, P2, P3 so on up to Pn. Okay, so these P1, P2, P3 so on up to Pn are all the variables occurring in both A and B. So A could be a formula, let us say P1 and P2 or P3 so on up to implies where any formula which consists of these variables. Similarly, B is another formula which consists of again some of these formulas, let us say P1 and P5 or P7, let us say. So these consist of these variables. Okay, A and B are the two formulas which are made up of these variables and they are connected by the connectors. Now if we assign the truth values to these variables as once as a true and once as a false for all the possible values of all the variables, if every value generated for a given value of P1, P2, P3 so on up to Pn is equivalent to the value generated by the formula P. Okay, so in that case we say that the two formulas A and B are equal. The two formulas A and B are equal. So when we can say is, let us say the first formula is P1 and let us say P2 for simplicity, and let us say second formula is P1 implies P2. So here for P1 true and P2 true, and if I am getting true output, so similarly I should, for this also I should get the T output, and wherever the T true output I am getting for whichever pairs, for those pairs I should get true output here, and for the pairs for which I am getting false output, this for the same pairs or for the same variables I should get the false as a output here. If it is happening for all the formulas, for all the values of truth values T and false, in that case I can say that the two formulas are equivalent. So the definition is something like this. Consider the assignment of the truth values. Now if I assign the truth values to this and the resulting truth value of A, and if the resulting truth value of A is equal to the truth value of B for every one of the 2 raised to n possible sets of the truth values. So whatever the 2 raised to n possible sets of truth values are there of P1, P2, P so on up to Pn, then I can say that A and B are equivalent. So let us say if I have two variables P and Q, so 2 raised to 2 possible. So P and Q, let us say first formula is A and second formula is B, and these two are based on P and Q. So for T, if A is false, B must be false. For TF, if A is true, B must be true. So for false true, if the formula A is true, B must be true, and for false if this is false, then this must be false. So this should happen for every possibility of the input truth values. The output, all the output generated by A must be equal to all the output generated by B. We can at that time say that A is equivalent to B. A is equivalent to B. Okay, let us move ahead and let us try to consider some examples. So not of not P is equivalent to P. So how? So how you can check this one is, you can construct a truth table here for P. For not P it will be false true, and for not of not P it will be again not of false is true and not of true is false. You can compare these two values and you can say that for P is equal to true, not of not P is also true, and for P is equal to false, not of not P is also false. So I can say that these two are equivalent. Okay, P and P is equivalent to P. So here what you can do is you can construct a truth table for P and P and P. So whenever P is true, true and true is true. Whenever P is false, false and false is false. So this is also follows. Similarly, P and not P. So or Q. So now what is P and not P? As we have discussed previously, P and not P. So if P is true, not P will be false. If P is false, not P will be true. So they will be opposite to each other, and ANDing of values which are different, like if one is true and another is false, output is false. So this formula becomes false or q. So false odd with q is always q. Okay, p or not p is always true. P or not p always true. We have discussed this. Similarly, q or not q will also always be true. So now here these two are equal. So that means p or not p is equivalent to q or not q. Similarly, we have many other equivalence formulas that we are going to discuss. Now, both formula may contain same some of the different variables. It may happen that both the formulas may contain some of the different variables. Okay, some variable in 1, 2, 3. So some variable, this is 1, this is 2, and this is 3. This I am numbering it. So this is not considering m. So this is 2 and this is 3. Output of LHS is independent of P. So now here see, whatever is the output, so here that is independent of P. For 1, 2, 3 different values. So we have different values for 1, 2, 3. Whereas for equation number 3, if you will say, so the output here for equation number 3, the output Q, the output is Q and it is independent of irrelevant to consider it with the P. So it is independent of P. So this side Q and this side Q. After that, question number 4, in the fourth equation, what you can find is, you can find that P or not P and Q or not Q. Even though there are different type of symbols involved in this, still they are generating the truth values true, and they are said as independent of the input variables. P or not P is, we have already discussed about this, it is independent of the input variables. Similarly, Q or not Q is also independent of the input variables. Moving ahead, so now the thing is that I have given two what you can say formulas, formula A and formula B, and I want to generate a automatic method in which I can say that directly, if you want to write a program for this, let us say, so directly you want to check whether A is equal to B, and we have a one particular connector, and that particular connector is called as biconnection. So actually this is not the biconnection symbol. Biconnection symbol is represented something like this. Okay, so this is a biconnection symbol. So what happens with the biconnection symbol is, let us say A is a variable. Let us consider two variables P and Q. So if P is true, Q is true, P biconnector Q. Okay, B if and only if Q is true. For true false it is false. For false true it is again false, and for true false false it is true. So what you can see here is, whenever these two inputs are equal, at that time output is true. Whenever these two inputs are equal, output is true. Whenever they are not equal, at that time output is false. So what we can do is, if A and B are the two formulas, what we can do is we can make use of this biconnector operation, and then if biconnection of two formulas is tautology, we say that A and B are equal. Okay, if it is not tautology, at that time we can say that it is these two formulas are not equal. So let the two equation A and B denote two formulas. Then do we have any connector, okay, which can confirm their equivalence? So yes, we have biconditional statement. So this is the biconditional statement. Okay, so generally in a book it is represented something like this. Wherever A is generating true, B is generating true. Okay, and similar for the false. Wherever A is generating false, B will be generating false. So A if and only if B, you can read it as A if and only if B. So okay, this is repeated. So moving ahead, so another thing about A if and only if B is, it is a symmetric. So if A if and only if B is true, then B if and only if A is also true. That is, if A is equivalent to B, then you can rewrite it in this way. Okay, this is called as symmetric function. Okay, so what is the symmetric function? If there is a function from A to B, and let us say x y is true, then y x must be true. That is called as a symmetric function. Moving ahead, let us consider an example, and let us try to have a discussion on this example. So this particular example is what I want to prove is, I want to prove that P implies Q is equivalent to, now this is equivalence, is equivalent to or equivalent, you can say, no problem about it. I want to prove that these two formulas are equal. So what I was saying is this is formula A and this is formula B, and I want to check whether A and B are equal. So what is being done here? I have constructed a truth table. So P Q, okay, P is true true false false and Q is true false true false, and P for because not P is involved here, so I am also taken the values of not P, and they will be not of these values. So not of T is false, not of T is false, not of false is true, and not of false is true. Then P implies Q, as we all know that P implies Q is Q if P is true, otherwise true. P implies Q is true, is Q if P is true, otherwise it is true. Otherwise it is true means if P is false, it means that if P is false, the output is going to be true. So P is false, output is true. P is false, output is true. And output is Q whenever P is true. P is true, output is Q. This is Q. T is the output and this is F. Here is the, for true, F is the output. Similarly, for not P or Q, now this is not P and this is Q. So not P or Q, let us see, false or true is true. False or false is false. False or true is, sorry, true or true is true. True or false is true again. Now here itself you can say that these two equations are equal. Okay, so since these two outcomes are equal, you can say that this equation is equal to this equation. But if you want to more atomize it, so if you want to get the direct result at that time, what you can do is you can take the biconditional over 1 and 2. So 1 biconditional 2. So true true is true, false false is true. Biconditional is true whenever all the inputs are equal. Then this is also true and this is also true. If this is tautology, if this whole is tautology, as I told, we can say that A is equal to P. That is A. What is A? A is P implies Q, and B is not P or Q. So hence we have proved that these two formulas P implies Q and not P or Q are equal. This is also one of the example which is going to be used in future examples. So you can take down this one in your notebook. P implies Q is equivalence or is equivalent to not P or Q. Okay, moving ahead. So this formula is many times used in the discrete mathematical structure. This is one of the very important formula. Moving ahead. Now I want to take the equivalence of these three formulas. So this is the first formula, this is the second formula, and this is the third formula. For the first and second formula, what can be done is, for these two formulas, so in the previous example, as we have seen in the previous example, P implies Q is replaced by not P or Q. So here Q implies R can be replaced as not Q or R. Okay, and P remains here only. So P implies not Q or R. That is what has happened is this is this equation. So these two equations are equal now. I have shown you that these two equations are equal by using the help of previous example. Okay, so these two are equal. Now I want to show you that these two are equal. Now if these two are equal, so it is you can say it is symmetric. It is not symmetric, it is transitive. So if A is equal to B and B is equal to C, then A is equal to C. So I am showing you that B is equal to C. So as previously I told, according to the previous example, Q implies R is equal to not Q or R, and directly we can write it as P implies Q implies R is equal to P implies not Q or R. Okay, moving ahead, let us try to construct a truth table for second and third for the same example. I am considering the same example on the previous page. Okay, so what I am doing is now since there are three variables involved, there will be 8 columns. So true true true, true true false, true false true, true false false, false true true true, then false true false, false false true, and false false false. And then not Q is required here. Not Q is required here. So for that purpose I am calculating not Q. So first I am calculating this not Q or R. So this is not Q and this is R. So false and true is equal to true, false and false is equal to false, true and true is equal to true, false and true is equal to true, true and false is equal to true, false and false is equal to false, true true is equal to true, and false true is equal to true. Similarly, this is the first outcome, that is this one. Now P implies this value. So P implies 1. P implies 1 is 3, equation number 3. So P implies 1 is, So now this P implies this column. So true implies true is true. Wherever P is true, you have to write Q as it is. So you have to write these value as it is. So that 4 values are written as it is here. You can see here. And wherever P is false, you have to write it as true. True, 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 true. See here. Okay. So now this part is done. Now for this part I have to first calculate P and Q. So P and Q is equation number 2 now. Okay. So P and Q is here. True, true is true. True, true is true. For true, false, for all other cases it will be false. True, false, false, true, true, true. So first two are trues and all others are false because it is ANDing conjunction. And then this implies R. P and Q implies R. So R is here. R is here. Now whenever it is implies, wherever this is true, output will be R. So here it is true. Output will be R. R is true and false. Wherever this is false, output will be true. So all values are false. So output is true. You can see here. Okay. So now what we have to do is directly by comparing this column. So let us say this is column number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Directly by comparing column number 6 and 8, we can say that the values are equals here. True, true, then false, false, then true, 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 and true, true. And an atomized method is take its biconditional of 3 and 4. So you will get all the outputs are true, and which is tautology. If it is tautology, I can say that they are equal. Now the problem with constructing the truth table is that there is a limitation on the truth table. If there are 2 variables, there will be 4 rows. If there are 3 variables, 8 rows. If there are 4 variables, 16 rows. 5 variables, 32 rows. And constructing 32 rows will be time consuming. Or 64 rows will be again next. If there are 6 variables, then 64 rows. So that will be time consuming and that will be space consuming. So for that purpose, what we can do is we can use some equivalences formulas and directly we can put them onto the equation. For example, these are some of the equivalence formulas. They are very much important. So over the first column is over the disjunction, second column is conjunction, and the third one is what is the name of that rule I am doing here. So P or P, as we have already discussed this one, P or P is P. We have already discussed this one previously. Similarly, P and P is also P, and this is called as idempotent law. These two both are called as idempotent law. You might have learned this in different locations. For example, in groups and all, these are there. Then these are there in digital electronics. Okay, wherever the AND gates, OR gates are there. So it is like 1 and 1 is equal to 1. 0 and 1 is equal to 0. So in the electronics subject it is there. Then second one is called as associative law. So P or Q or R, where the bracket is applied to the first two variables. Now it is equivalent to P or Q or R, where the bracket is applied to the last two variables. Okay, and remember here these operators are same. Here the operators are same. Here also the operators are same. Okay, then and then only it is possible. If it becomes AND somewhere, then that is not the that will not be the correct assignment. Okay, so similarly for the conjunction also we have the associative law. We have the commutative law. P or Q is equivalent to Q or P. P and Q is equal to Q and P. So that is called as a commutative law. We have a distributive law. Now you can compare this one with the previous one. So here the formulas, the operators are equal, whereas here the operators are different, you can see. So whenever the operators are different, at that time it will be a distributive law. And distributive law is P or Q and R is equal to P or Q and P or R. So here, that is here. Similarly here P and Q or R is equal to P and Q or P and R. So distributive law. Then P or false is always P. So false ORed with anything will give you anything. Okay. Then P and false will be false always. So ANDing with false will be false, and there is no name to this rule. Similarly, there is no name to this rule. P or T is true. That is, any formula ORed with a truth value T is always true. Okay, P and T is P. Okay, you can compare these two columns now and these two columns. Then P or not P implies T. Now P or not P is already we have seen, this is universal truth. Okay, P and not P, it is a contradiction. We have seen there is no name given to this rule. Next one is P or P and Q. P or P and Q is equal to P. This is called as absorption rule. Okay, or absorption law. So here this or absorbs, you can say P. Okay. Similarly, P and P or Q is also P. This is very much important. So these are some of the laws which are called as laws of prepositional logic. The last one is called as the De Morgan's theorem, and you might have heard this term previously also. So not of, this is De Morgan's theorem over the connectors. Not of P or Q is equal to not of P and not of Q applied separately. Okay, and now here what happens is disjunction is replaced by conjunction, and this negation is applied to each variable separately. And not of P and Q is not of P or not of Q. So the symbol changes here, and whatever this symbol is there, the common negation is there, it applies to each variable here. So these are the things you must remember. Okay, you must know. Moving ahead, let us try to solve this example. And the same example we have already solved by constructing the truth table previously. So, and out of that, this path, this one I have already shown by how it can be done by using a formulation method. So consider P implies Q implies R. Consider this part now. Consider the first part. Now here, as per the previous example, Q implies R, the previous one, P implies Q is not Q or R. So if we replace it, it becomes P implies Q or R. Okay, that is, these two are now equal. We have discussed this one previously in the current lecture. Then now we want to show this is equal to this one. So for that purpose, let us move ahead. Now P implies not Q or R. Let us consider that this is the second equation, equation number 2, and this is of type P implies Q. So this is P and this whole is Q now. This whole is Q, and it can be again rewritten as not P or Q as per the previous equation. So that can be written as not P or Q. If I rewrite it, what happens is it is not P or, so this formula as it is now, Q is as it is, not Q or R. Okay, now again if you see here, this is if you apply associative law here, this, if you apply associative law, what will happen is this will be rewritten as P, not P or not Q or R. So that is done in the next this one. So it can be rewritten as not P or not Q or R, and applying the De Morgan's theorem to this, applying the, now it is not necessary to apply the De Morgan's theorem. Now what I want is, now I want to rewrite this one in a format of something P implies R. So R is here, and I consider that this is something which implies R. So this is P. I want to write it in this format, P implies R. So this R I want to convert into the implication symbol. So when this is possible, reverse is also possible. So not Q and R. So not Q and R is already here. So what I can do is I can take that one as a Q implies R. So that is, this formula I can rewrite as not of not P or not Q implies R. So that is done here. So P implies Q is equivalent to not P or Q. So not of P implies or R can be rewritten as not of, this is not of P or not of R implies R. So now you have to apply the De Morgan's theorem here. So it is not of P or not of Q implies R. Now if you apply De Morgan's theorem here, so it will be not of not P. Not of not P will be P, and the disjunction operator will be now replaced by conjunction, and not of not Q will be Q. So that's done here. So applying the De Morgan's theorem to this formula, what we get is not of not P and not of not Q, and that will be P and Q. So putting this P and Q instead of the not of P or not of Q, what we get is P and Q implies R. That is the proved. So this is called as formulation method, proving by formulation method. Let us try to consider another example, and probably this will be the last example that I am going to discuss. So not of P and in a bracket not of Q and R. So this is the first part. Then or Q and R or P and R is equal to R. You want to solve this. So what you need to do here is you have to look into all the possibilities here. So this one, so first possibility that I find here is that this can be reduced by applying the distributive law. So this is just like A and C or B and C. So see here, C, R, and these two are simple, very different symbols. So this is equivalent to, this can be rewritten as A or B and C. So something like that it can be rewritten by applying the this one. So this part I'm considering red part. So I will apply the distributive law here, the reverse distributive law, and that will become P or Q. It is actually Q or P, but Q or P is commutative, so I am writing P or Q and R and R. Okay, now if I look at this side, I will apply the associative law here in this side. So this blue color, sky blue color you can see now. So this I am writing in different order. Whatever the bracket over here it was there, I am bringing it to this side. So now it is not P and not Q and R, or so this is the previous one. Okay, so this is applying the associative law. Let us consider that this is equation number 2. Moving ahead, this is of the form. Now you can see here, this is of the form A and C. You can see here A, this is of the form A and C, okay, or B and C, the same form. So now A is not P and not Q, is A I am saying, and this whole is B. So it can be again rewritten as, we know that how it can be rewritten, which is of the form A and C or B and C, and which can be rewritten as where A is P and not P and not Q, B is P or Q, and C is R. Now again applying the distributive law, what is going to happen as, which can be rewritten as A or B and C, that is this is A, this is A, this is B or C. So I will write that one, that is now 2 can be rewritten as not of P and not of Q, or P or Q, okay, and R. Now what I will do is, to this I will apply a De Morgan's theorem. So I will try to take this negation outside. If I try to take the negation outside, what is going to happen is P is going to remain inside and the symbol will change. So next, after this, let us try to discuss once again. So after this step, now you can see that this can be of the form not P or P. Okay, so I'll type here. So it is not of P or Q, or P or Q. So I am taking not out of this. So what I have done is this negation, if I try to take it outside, so it will be not of P, and the conjunction will be replaced by disjunction and close the bracket. Okay, so that is very much important here. So if we'll do that, so in that case what will happen is this equation will be rewritten as not of P or Q, or P or Q and R. Okay, this R is here, and this is by using the De Morgan's theorem. Moving ahead, this equation number 4 is of type not of P or P is equal to true. So now this whole can be replaced by true. If I will replace this whole true, what will happen is, so true and R will be remaining, and we have already discussed that tree and R is always R. So this is about how we can show that the particular example can be solved. There is another method wherein what you can do is you can assume some values here. Since at right hand side there is only one variable, what you can do for that is you can assume this R is equal to true. Now if you assume R is equal to true, you have to assume all the occurrences of R in left hand side as true. So what the equation will become now is, after assuming R is equal to true, because there is only one variable and this one variable can hold only two values, that is either true or false. So consider it true. What will happen at the left hand side, you can see, so it will be not P and not Q and true. So now this not Q and true, we know that this will be not Q. So anything ended with true is that anything, or then Q and T is Q and P and T is P. So this remaining part will be something like this. So not P and not Q, or Q or P. So that is being done here. So it is not P and not Q, or P and Q. Applying the De Morgan's theorem to this, it will, what will happen is, so it will be not Q, no, not of P or Q, or P or Q, that will be true. So left hand side is considered true, right hand side is also true. If right hand side is false, at the time putting R is equal to false, left hand side, what you get is, so P and false is false, this is false, and this is false. So this is false means this is odd with anything, is this will go, and here it is false, and false ended with not P is false. So left hand side is equal to right hand side. So you can solve it in any way. So this is the end of the session. Thank you for attending the session, and I request you to please subscribe my channel. And there is like at one location I was trying to solve, and my computer shut down, so at that time I have repeated it, but there is some corrections over there. So thank you for attending my lecture.